The political corridors of South Africa have been rattled once again, this time by an unexpected plea from President Cyril Ramaphosa to members of the African National Congress, ANC. Reports emerging from behind closed doors suggest that the president, visibly strained, made a direct appeal to the ruling party's leadership structures, asking them to retain him as the presidential candidate for the upcoming 2026 national elections. The revelation has sparked both shock and debate across the political spectrum, igniting fresh questions about Ramaphosa's standing within his own party and his ability to steer South Africa through its turbulent challenges. According to sources close to the ANC's National Executive Committee (NEC) deliberations, Ramaphosa's tone was far from the confident leadership persona he often portrays publicly. Instead, insiders claim he delivered a heartfelt plea, emphasizing loyalty, unity, and continuity. The president reportedly warned of serious instability should the party attempt to replace him with a new candidate, noting that South Africa was at a delicate point in its democracy, facing both economic pressures and social discontent. For many, the image of a sitting president begging his party for support is an unusual spectacle. The ANC, long accustomed to projecting an image of power and control, has historically managed leadership succession behind closed doors. But the public leak of Ramaphosa's appeal has broken that veneer, revealing cracks within the ruling party's confidence. Analysts argue that such a move suggests deep unease within the president's camp, perhaps even a recognition that his grip on the ANC is slipping. Political commentators have wasted no time dissecting the development. Some suggest that Ramaphosa's plea highlights the extent of factional battles within the ANC. The so-called RET forces, Radical Economic Transformation Bloc, who remain loyal to former President Jacob Zuma and other disgruntled leaders, have been quietly rallying to challenge Ramaphosa's leadership. The 2026 elections, they argue, could provide the perfect opportunity to reposition the ANC under a different face. Ramaphosa, aware of these undercurrents, may have felt compelled to appeal directly to the loyalty of his comrades to secure his place at the helm. Others, however, view the president's plea as a calculated move. By presenting himself as vulnerable and dependent on the unity of the ANC, Ramaphosa might be seeking to remind members of the risks of division. He has long styled himself as the leader of reform and renewal, pledging to root out corruption and rebuild public trust. His request to be retained as the candidate may be less about desperation and more about forcing the ANC to confront the reality that abandoning him midstream could undermine the credibility of these reform efforts. Yet the optics are difficult to ignore. Ordinary South Africans, grappling with daily hardships, unemployment, rising food costs, corruption scandals, and an unreliable energy supply have responded with mixed reactions. Some see Ramaphosa's request as an act of humility, showing that he is human and aware of the uncertainty surrounding his leadership. Others, however, view it as a sign of weakness, a desperate attempt to cling to power at a time when the country needs firm and decisive leadership. Social media has been ablaze with commentary, with hashtags mocking the president's begging quickly trending. Critics argue that if Ramaphosa must beg to be retained, it underscores how far he has fallen from the aura of strength he projected when he first took office in 2018, promising a new dawn. Supporters, on the other hand, insist that his humility only proves his dedication to the ANC's unity and the nation's stability. Inside the ANC itself, the situation remains fluid. Senior figures are said to be divided. Some back Ramaphosa as the party's best chance to maintain its hold on power, while others believe new leadership might re-energize the ANC's voter base, which has shown signs of fatigue and frustration. The 2024 elections, where the ANC struggled to secure comfortable margins in some provinces, are fresh in memory. The party cannot afford more internal turmoil as it prepares for what could be the most competitive election in South Africa's democratic history. The president's move raises key questions. Has Cyril Ramaphosa lost the one solid grip he held over the ANC? Can he survive the rising tide of discontent within the party and the country at large? And perhaps most importantly, will the ANC prioritize loyalty to its sitting leader, or gamble on fresh leadership to rejuvenate its standing with the electorate? For now, Ramaphosa's political fate hangs in the balance. His plea may secure him sympathy and renewed backing, or it may embolden his detractors who see weakness as an opportunity. Either way, South Africa's political landscape has been jolted. The coming months will reveal whether Ramaphosa's appeal was a masterstroke of survival or the beginning of the end of his dominance within the ANC.